My name is Brandon Wise. I am the CEO and founder of Wise Agent. This podcast is called Becoming a Wise Agent, and we really appreciate you all joining. Today, I have a special guest on with me. Her name is Esmeralda Gil. She goes by Ez, and she has been in our industry for over 10 years now, doing it all. And when I say doing it all, she is been an owner of an office, a broker. She's still an active agent. She loves doing the actual realtor agent stuff. She does commercial and she does property management and she takes care of investors. And I'm probably missing a few things, but
Share, please.
welcome today, as and you can fill
Thank you.
in, tell us a little bit about your background, how you got here to where you are today, and where are you working at?
Okay, so I am Ez. I kind of, I guess how you would say I was stumbled into real estate because I was actually going to college for business administration. And I got a position when I was 21 with a company called Trizicon, which was back then the Sears Tower. It's like the Willis now. And that was at 21. And for those of you, I was a single mom at 19. So definitely, had some hard times. But I didn't think I wasn't like since I was a kid, like for real estate was my thing. But when I worked at Trizicon, I started to love it. Then I worked for the John Hancock. So I was in the commercial property management for a lot of years. Loved it. I fell in love with it. I'm a big people person, so that is like my personality. I love to love on you. That's just me. Um, so years in, basically when I would see the realtors that were at Sears Tower and then Johnny Hancock, I was like, oh my God, like they look so cool. Like they had the suits on, and I was like, oh, I want to be like them when I grow up. But of course I didn't want to, I was a mom. I needed to pay my rent. So years later, I ended up working for a guy. His name was Tony Giannini, which is my mentor. I love him. But I helped him manage all his properties. And then he kept on telling me, why don't you get your license? And I'm like, well, I'll get it, but I don't think I could just do sales. I remember I borrowed money from my mom to pay for the class because it's expensive. Well, the class is not expensive, but when you start up, there's a lot of fees.
Yes.
Borrowed money. Tony and I say I quit. He says he fired me. I mean, I'm very strong-willed. So he's a dear friend now. But basically I went to work for a company and I hustled my butt off, had a lot of anxiety, cried a lot because I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. And I did over 6 figures my first year. And then
Oh,
in my second year, I met my business partner. We recently parted, but then we started a property management company. I built a team. Um, just some years ago, then I ended up buying an Exit franchise. Love that brand. I think that they're great. But recently, I decided to just go out on my own again. And I just miss real estate too much. That's my heart. And I wasn't like selling for so long. And that's what fills my cup. So like if my cup's not filled, like I would try to help the realtor so much. And I'm like, just do that and just do that. And they wouldn't, and it would kind of hurt my feelings because I was like, I'm over here not selling, probably not making as much money as I could. And so that's where I am. I started We Realty a couple weeks ago.
I
So
love it. I love it. So always going through change. There's always something new, and you
if
just keep
you're
on
not
tackling.
if you're not growing, you are dying. And also, big tip, you're right in the beginning, YouTube's going to be your friend and not your friend to don't look at the real estate stuff. Don't look at that. Look at your Tony Robbins, your Mel Robbins, your reels about your mindset. If your mindset isn't good, you will want to get out of the real estate game immediately. That's why in real estate, that's the number one thing. Most people don't make it past their first year.
Well, let's start right there. That's a great lead in, and we're getting a lot of questions. So as you guys have questions, go ahead and throw them in chat, and we'll definitely try to get to those. And if we don't get to them now, we will still reply after the meeting and make sure we answer everyone. And also, I want to let you know we are recording this, so after we get it edited and wrapped up, we will send this out to everyone later today as well. So if you missed anything, you can go back and listen. But as speaking about getting your mind right, it all starts the moment you wake up each day, and there's a lot of days when you might, yeah, that alarm goes off and you don't feel like doing it. how
at
do
all.
you, what do you recommend for, and we have a lot of new agents and people that are coming back to the industry trying to get going and they're struggling right now is kind of a lot of the questions we got. How do you get started in the morning and what's your recommendations for what they should be doing even before
So,
you think about real estate?
so even you, before you even get out of your bed, before I know everyone's like scrolling to see what everyone's doing, your phone is by you. Like it's a note back now. You have to go to YouTube and however you're feeling. I'm discouraged. I no longer want to do this. I don't think I can do it. So literally you're going to get out of your bed while you're making your bed and you have to make your bed every morning. That's one of my number one things. If you do not make your bed, if your bed is messy, and I'm not a motivational speaker, guys, but I'm telling you, I do not think I would have lasted in real estate as long as I did without the motivational stuff. And I'm also a Christian. I'm happy. I love my faith. I tell everyone my faith in throughout my real estate career has gotten even stronger. So just because there's been so many highs and lows, like so many, and I don't think that people talk about those enough. I used to do a motivational Mondays, like a Zoom for people because I thought it was so important. Like, I think we all should get together on like a Monday and be like, so what are you thinking? Like, cause you'll get discouraged. You will literally get so discouraged. And people need to know it's okay because all they see on social is, oh my God, I'm closing these deals. Oh my God, I'm doing all of this. And it's not true. I mean, sometimes it is, but it's not a
So,
lot of the
so
time.
you get up, you make your bed, you start getting
Yeah,
your
I
mind
make my
right.
bed and I listen to motive. So I'm a 5 a.m. girl, so I'm part of the 5 a.m. club. I
Love it.
I believe in 20 20 20. So 20, regardless if you believe in God or not, you do some meditation, you read, you have a quiet time, you can make a coffee. 20 minutes, you set an alarm. The other 20 minutes has to be something that's going to pursue your career. Like, say if you're not good with social media and you're in the real estate realm, find a video. Now, don't listen to it randomly. Set it for that next day for 20 minutes because you only have to do it for 20 minutes. So you're learning in the 20 minutes. And then the other 20 minutes, you have to move your body. And I'm not talking
Yes.
about like a deep core type of workout. I mean, walk around the block, go up and down your stairs, jump up and down, do something. You have to move your body because it sets the tone for it. It's something neurology wise that it really helps him. Your entire mood changes. I mean, it just does.
Yes, yes. Dan says motivation is like vitamins. Take them
No,
daily.
it
And
it's like medicine. So
it
therefore
really is.
it was funny. My son, I recently was sending him stuff and he's like, and I'm like, so did you listen to what I sent you? I'm like, because you got to do things, and he's like, well, I didn't want to watch it. I'm like, I'm not sending you these videos to watch. Listen to them the same way that we listen to music.
Yes, and I'm 100%. It took me years to figure it out, but it's kind of a secret. What she's talking to you right now
Mhm.
isn't real estate, but this is a secret in life. Is that if you get up early and get to the gym, move your body, get your mental right, and then get to the gym or walk around. I go do jujitsu in the morning, and I'll tell you, after you get choked a few times, the rest of the day, whatever problems come at you, it's easy if you can breathe. And you can see I got a little scratch this morning from getting some mat burns or whatever, but. I love it. And it's the same thing with making your bed. You do something that your brain doesn't really want to do, get it done, and you start the motion. And then when you get to the gym, you may not want to go to the gym or work out, but you walk around the block, you're doing something else you don't want to do. And now when it's time to start making those calls or knocking doors or whatever it is that you're going to be doing to get your business going, you're not going to want to do it, but now you can plug through because you've already beat a few things. And I think that's kind of where that morning really, really comes in.
So I recommend the 5 a.m. club. I've seen the comments. So the Miracle Morning is really good as well. However, for all you realtors, if you are new, the Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Now, I'm not a reader, and everyone says to not say that, but I don't like to read. It's too time consuming. Like, I'm a go girl. So like I don't have time to be like, let me look at no. So I do my things while I'm listening. And Tom Hardy's just amazing. He talks about the compound effect, how it's little things go a long way, small things.
Yes,
It's
yes.
it's really good, guys.
Okay, and so then we have a lot of new agents, and they're saying now I'm in my first year, and I'm going to the office, I'm going out to lunch with lenders, but I'm not getting business. What do I need to start doing right now? And I don't have a lot of money to get it going. What do you recommend
Well,
in as a new agent or someone that's coming back and we're rebuilding?
well, I'll at first I want to address, I think it may be wrong. A lot of new realtors, because I've had them and I've mentored them, and a lot of them are so worried about they don't know how to do a contract, or they don't know how to do this, or they don't know how to do that. I always tell them, I don't know why we're going to waste our time on that, because that's not going to make us money right now. I said, what you need to do is just you need to be a part of a good firm too. Okay. Get the client first, and then let's do your contract together. So I think if you're on here and you're so worried to even get your first deal because you don't know what you're doing with the paperwork is so, I don't know if there's attorneys that are on here, but that's, I mean, there's some non-attorney states, but worry about the clients because that's what's going to get you going. Then make sure you're part of a good firm, like to do that. But as far as for getting the business, like I mentioned to you, yes, you want to work with the lender, but do not go out and meet with every lender. When you post on social media that you're a realtor, you wish so many people would contact you saying that they want to buy a house. It's a bunch of lenders. And, oh, hey, do you want me to buy you lunch? Make your own lunch. You tell them, I will work with you first if you send me a client. Once you send me a client, then you will be my preferred. Or tell them what they have to offer you. Because if you don't have money, you need marketing material. You need them to give you your flyers, co-marketing. You want someone that's going to pay and work for you because we don't have money right now. Like there's not a lot of money to be spent. So we're doing a lot of the dollar store. We're doing a lot of printing flyers out. We're saving within a budget, if that makes
Right,
sense.
right. Yeah, and so you make sure that you're making those relationships within the industry to help you. But
Mhm.
now you mentioned flyers and dollar stores. So as a new
Or
agent, tell us what is one of the things that you do to prospect that you would recommend others do? Maybe the things that everyone right now is on social. That's what yeah, all the other podcasts right now are saying you got to run good Facebook ads and things like that, which we agree with. But
they cost money though. They cost
yes,
money. So what everyone wants to do is they want to save money. So there's also ways around posting on social media. Like, so everyone will tell me, how the heck did you make so much money your first year? Well, the reason I made so much money is because I didn't know how I was gonna pay for my rent. You know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of the day, I was doing flyers, and I mean like on Microsoft Word. I was doing flyers. I had my mom go post them, and I had like little things where you could grab it as if someone was going to look for a apartment, and I promoted the down payment assistance, free money. um
wait, how do you get your flyer after you make a flyer? How are you getting it in front of all these people and
you
what's making
you
them
go
come?
to the grocery stores, you give your business card out to what as you're doing your day. So this is what people don't get. Everyone thinks that they can't have their personal life. Your personal life is your business. So if you have kids, I want you wearing a shirt to go and pick them up saying, I am a realtor. I want you sending stuff to your kids' school. Like you are your advertisement. You still can live, you can still have a great life. Like you don't have to go away. Introduce it into your life. If you have kids, oh my God, I wish my kids were small. Because my kids would be on there like, my mommy sells real estate. Like it's a golden ticket. If you have, I don't, my pets aren't here right now, but I told my accountant I wanted them as like a write-off because I want to put them in my videos. Like that's the ticket. I think that people don't think outside the box. Like they don't, and they really have to.
Right, right. And so tell how when you what are you doing when you get to the office or you decide, hey, I'm going to go prospect? What's one of the things that you did that actually converted and turned people you didn't know into clients that you
So
would go do on a regular basis?
so this is the one thing. When you're in the office, you can't stay in the office a long time. You only can stay in the office if you have some paperwork to file, if you're going to follow up on leads. You always should maybe do a coffee shop. I used to do like lounges, bars. I don't recommend bars now. But I mean, in general, you need to be somewhere where you're meeting some people. If you're just in the office, you're not going to meet folks. So
Right.
right now, when we're in this day and age where there's these offices that your EXPs and reels that don't have a physical place, you make your office be these coffee shops. Again, wear your shirt. I'm a realtor. Wear a name tag. I'm telling you, you are your own billboard. It's
Okay.
literally easy. Like when you're going to church, to the mall, where I sold a house, and I think I seen Dan from Exit that's on here. Me and him were my first year in real estate, or my second. I was having food with him, and me and him were talking. And whenever I'm out, I'm talking about real estate. And especially my first year, I was like, I'm so excited. The waitress is like, "Do you sell houses in Indiana?" And I was like, "I sure do." Now, I did not, but Dan did. Dan gave me a referral. And then she reached out to me 5 years past. I recently sold her mom's house. So
Wow. And
it's,
how did you stay in touch with her for the last 5 years that made her
oh my
even think
God.
of you? That's a huge problem in our industry, is after the sale, we're seeing a lot of agents. Everyone knows they should stay in touch, but they're not doing it. What do you do? How do you stay in touch with these people that make them give you repeat business or referrals?
So I have a client survey that I would not mind sharing. I will send it in Word. It's a client survey that you do before the closing. So you basically tell your clients, "Hey, I just want you to do a survey, and the survey lists their birthdays, if they like Dunkin' or Starbucks, their kid's birthday, and you basically have a client list chart." So I have mine on an Excel spreadsheet in addition to what I have with you guys. But I'm kind of old school with some stuff because I like paper for some reason. So I'll sometimes just like print it out. And I have one for January and February. I keep in touch. I text them. My clients become my best friends. Like they're like my family. So
What I keep hearing as she's talking, she's mentioning over and over about the people, and really what it's coming down to is Ez is a professional at building relationships, and that's really in the end that's what this whole business is really about. It's a secret. One of the secrets to it is that it's not about who can type the best search in or how to open the doors. It's really about building relationships, and that's really what when you're using a CRM, contact relationship management system, that's really what it's there for, is to how do you build relationships at scale? And so you can build everyone, we all know how to build one or two and have some friends, but now how do you do it when you need to build a lot of relationships at the same time? And that's when you use a system called a CRM. But exactly where your mindset has to be is right where Ez is. She loves the people and she's doing this, and then the business is coming.
now I will say my first couple of years in real estate, the office I was with, they didn't have the best CRM. Now, this isn't just a shout out
Yeah.
for you. So you didn't pay me to do this. But this program, I mean, this CRM is amazing. Like I love it. Like so hence that's why I have that old school spreadsheet. Because what they had, I was like, that's so confusing. I don't know what to do with it. And whenever I would call, I'd be on hold forever. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I don't know how to add my contacts. I don't. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll do a spreadsheet. So
Right, right. Well, maybe this is a good choice, a good chance for me just to show a couple things that
yeah.
we've already talked about here. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is just share the screen so you can see how would you do some of the things that she's been talking about using a CRM. And so when you log into the CRM, this is kind of what we're looking at here. This is just on the front page, and I'm just going to scroll down the page past the commission report and the day planner, and what she was just mentioning is how does she organize all the calls? Because every week she's making her calls to her, in this case, to her past clients. And so we have this thing called the call list. And the way that works is that every single time you're calling someone, whether they answer or not, you should be scheduling a follow-up call with them. And that's where a lot of these go off, is you call, they don't answer, and now you missed it, and you don't get back to calling them again when they do answer. So when you're using Wise Agent and you have to call someone, the idea is that you just click on the call button, and then it'll do a little slide out, and I can go see my past notes, what we talked about, if I have an assistant and what they talked about with the person. Now, when I call, I'm not wasting time. I know exactly why I'm calling. When they answer, or if they answer, then while I've got them on the phone, I can say, hey, can I give you a call back next week? And I can schedule that for myself or anyone on my team. And then the most critical part is I'm adding notes for the call. What did I get from them? What did they talk about? Was there anything important? So that next time I call them, I can bring that back up and I know how to have that conversation. But now when I type that in and say complete, now this person comes right off of my call list today. Whoops, and then next week they'll show back up, and I won't miss that call because they're going to be right on it. And then the other thing she was talking about, um, making the flyers. And so you can use, there's all kinds of programs, but if you're using Wise Agent right in the system, if you click on marketing, you'll see that there's a little tab says property flyers. And so you can really easy with just a few clicks, you can go make some really nice property flyers that if that's what the kind of flyers you're looking to hand out. So I just wanted you all to know that that is part of the CRM. If you're using Wise Agent, that's just another little add-on tool that you might not even know you have, but it's in there as well.
Yeah, Brandon, so what about if I wanted to adjust what you just showed and just have something that like adjusted, like I just showed your neighbor's house? Because that's one that I
Sure.
used to do on Word. Like
Yeah, yeah. So
it
let's
looked
and
really
so let
bad.
now what? Okay, so yeah, you can make it any way you want. We don't have it, but we can always make templates for those flyers. If you were using them a
Oh,
lot, you guys let us know. That's one thing that
awesome.
people love about Wise Agent is we're listening to you all. So if you have good suggestions or you're having a problem and we can innovate some technology to help you, that's what we love doing. So let us know. But so let's say you make that flyer. Now, what do you do with it? Yeah, now you've got that flyer. Tell us how is that going to help you?
So at Amazon, I'm big on not door hangers like the ones you put on the door and you have to pay a person. So I do these baggies. I've
Okay.
been doing them since day one. 10 years later, I'm still here. And I mean, now because I have a little more money, a little bit, I'll pay like someone to go door to door and hang this up. So basically you just fill this up. I do when you're out on showing. So you should have a little box that you keep in the back seat of your car with your letterhead. What you should be targeting when you go on showings or schedule showings to go see some places, and basically you can just put I just toured your neighbor's house. Would you like to know more, or are you thinking and selling, or something catchy, like you can make it your own. You literally print out a bunch, you put them in here, and you put some candies and go from there. I mean,
And
I
so
just
did
showed your neighbor's house. So I just showed your neighbor's house. I just sold your neighbor's house. Then another thing that you should do is you should target apartment complexes. If the doors aren't locked, you put a bunch of these in there. You put a bunch of your information inside here, and you're gonna put why rent when you could own.
There you go. And so did you actually go walk around and hand it, you're that brave that you went and knocked on doors, or you stuck these up, or how?
Brandon, no, I'm a scaredy cat.
So
So I
you've always paid someone else to do it.
okay, well, not paid. Like back in the day, my mom would do. Well, she wouldn't really do it. Like my goddaughter would do it, um, or I would do it at like nighttime because I just put it. I mean, I want for everyone to know that I'm not sitting here saying go knock on doors because I never like to knock on doors. Like that's scary. Like I'm shy. I know a lot of you are like, yeah, right, but I'm scared when it comes to that stuff because I think for me it's funny because I used to work in sales when I was like in high school in like a clothing store. And I didn't do well because I never wanted to go up to someone. Like so the fear is real, guys. So if you're feeling it, I want you to know you also don't have to do cold calls. You can do texting. There's also a really good program that I recently found that I pay $100 a month for. It's better than skip tracing. It's better than all of that. You put in the address and you get all their contact information. If they're not on the do not call list, you could shoot them a text. And
Uh-huh.
Fizbos. Fizbos are huge. I love them. I've gotten so many Fizbos my entire career.
And how do you get to the, I mean, everyone's,
You go to
what are you doing?
Google. You
Uh-huh.
go to Google and you put Fizbo's near me, and Zillow gives you their phone number. If you scroll all the way down, it gives you their number. And I know that you're scared, but shoot them a text. Say, hey, I may have some buyers. Would you give me permission to promote your house on social? Because a lot of the realtors say, I don't have listings. So how am I going to call realtors too and say, hey, can I advertise your listing? Can I bring you a buyer? Now, 90%, no, I'd say 60% of the realtors will say yes. You'll have your 40% that will be like, no, because realtors are mean. I mean, a lot of them are.
Right.
I mean, let's be real. It's the
Well,
truth. It's the
so you drive by a for sale by owner, you find one, and then your goal is to get their phone number so you can text. Is that how you usually convert?
Yeah,
Or
so and my goal is to get an appointment. But not an appointment like it in a salesy way. If you call a Fizbo and you're like, hi, I'm here, I don't know why you're selling it by yourself. They don't want to use a realtor because they think it's too expensive. So you're not going to convince them. However, I'm sure Grant Cardone, I love him and all these folks, but I've never done it that way. I've always said, hey, can I work with you on the buyer side? Can I market your house? And then when they say, oh my God, yeah, sure. And some will say no, I'll tell them, are you working with buyer sides? If you're working with buyer sides, how much are you paying for the commission? They don't want to hear you tell them that you can sell their house. They don't care.
uh,
Like
uh,
in essence, they don't care, but you go in, you take pictures, you bring someone with you, and you get to know them because you may not want to sell their house. They may be the most difficult folks around because Fizbos they're really significant. They're really I don't know what's the right word to use without using a like I don't want to say cheap or frugal, but every penny counts. So with Fizbos, be prepared. If you're not going to be competitive with your percentage, then don't do it. If you're one of the realtors that are like, I need a 6% or a 7, then that's fine. I, by the grace of God, have made a lot of money, and I've done a 4, I've done a 3, because some money is better than none. And I think that's the wrong mentality that some realtors have, or maybe they do great, but that's not my story. So
and you mentioned that you've been really going back to a lot of old school marketing versus the social, which I see you on. I know you're doing them both, but when you say old school, what are you talking about?
I just mean old school of like old school stuff, like get involved with. So you don't want a door knock. So a Girl Scout girl came to my door and I bought basically like $200 worth of cookies because I wanted to promote. She lived right down the street, and I was promoting on Facebook. Hey, I just supported this person, that person. Would you like a box of cookies? You want to stir up the conversation, and then when you stir it up, you give them your card. You also can do like a canned food drive. Like what you could do is also like reach out to your community and say, hey, is there a way that I can get involved? So then you're knocking on doors for good reasons. And if you have kids, use them. I don't mean use them in a bad way, but go to their school like and ask them if you could get involved. So you're meeting with the people, but you're door knocking, but you're not. You're actually doing a good cause.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that we hear the most from our successful agents is that they're getting involved in things they like to do. They like going to church, that becomes their farm. They like
Mhm.
going to the Elks Lodge or the AMVets or any of these kind of clubs. They get involved in them, and then as they build relationships, people find out that what's one of the questions you ask them, what do you do for a living? And then it doesn't happen right away, is what it sounds like. It's usually 2, 3, 4 months into it after people feel comfortable with you. Then they might say, hey, you know what? Aren't you in real estate? And that's kind
Brandon,
of how
no,
it
no,
happens.
no, Brandon. You need to always wear a name tag. Now, some
Yes.
people may think that you work for Costco or Sam's Club, but who cares? It starts the conversation. Like they're like, oh, you're wearing a name tag. Like my daughter at times would be like, how come you're wearing your name tag at church? I'm like, because they need to know that I sell real estate. Like I'm not like a t-shirt girl, but I may start to be. I'm not sure, but they. So you're again, you're advertising without advertising. So they're gonna see. I'm telling you, try it, and the people are gonna come up to you in the store.
Yeah, no, and for what I've been finding, even just the last week, I ended up giving 3 different referrals out because people know I'm in the real estate industry, and all of them were from the gym. So again, doing something I didn't really want to be doing, but I get there,
Yeah.
and you start feeling. If you do it long enough, people actually start talking to you, and especially if you make eye contact with people, they'll take their headphones out, and I'll say, "Man, you always smile at me." And it's not anything fast, but after a while they knew I was in real estate. They didn't realize I'm do on a tech side, but I take those and I say, I know someone that can help you, and we give out the referrals. And so and it's just from being involved and being at the same place over and over again, seeing those familiar faces where they get brave enough to start talking and start that conversation.
Yeah. So a lot of times too, what some people, I think what everyone will tell you when you start, and tell me if I'm talking a little too much, but I love to share this stuff because I think not enough people will do it because they're always trying to sell you something that it costs you $500 and you're like, I can't afford it. But another thing is when they say to reach out to your sphere, I know you basically are probably like, so sometimes you don't want to work with your family and friends, or
Right.
sometimes they don't want to work with you. So what we were just talking about, write a few things down that you like to do and allow that to push you to join that Pilates class, join that thing. Because I'm telling you, if you're just in your home or in your office, that's not making you money. It's just not. So
Yes, yes.
at the end of the day, so instead of, so when you think of your sphere, you also can create a sphere. Because when some people have told me, well, I don't know as many folks as you know, and in my head I'm like, and another thing in Facebook, everyone's like, well, don't add as many folks, add everyone on social media, even if you don't, if they're crazies. I mean, I know that sounds nuts. I mean, I want you to be safe, but that's your free advertising. Why are you not accepting folks? Who cares if you know them? Another thing that you could do, whatever town that you live in, do in the search communities in Naperville, communities in Fort Worth, and the people that live in there, send them friend requests. Who cares? Like, you
Yes,
are in real
yes.
estate. That's like the easiest. Like, they need to think outside the box. Like, and you need to, and it's gonna take time. And again, and I'm a big promoter. Your social media and your business
Yes.
because they don't want to see a bunch of houses. They want to see some houses and they want to see you. Because if they like dogs and you like dogs, well, guess who? I once got a forever client. Someone had contacted me on LinkedIn. So you should have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I'm big in my faith. So I'll always post about some real estate, but then my faith. This lady reached out to me. Her name is Sylvia, and that's my mom's name too. She reached out to me on LinkedIn and was like, hey, I see your stuff and I would like to find a realtor like that is big in her, like she said, I think believes in God or like something, which it was kind of like, oh, I didn't know. And we connected. I helped her daughter buy her first condo. Just recently, I helped her daughter sell her condo and buy another house off of LinkedIn because of
Wow.
my faith.
Wow.
So whatever you like, dogs, do like when people say like what's your niche? In my opinion, your niche should be what do you like to do? Like not what town. And then you have a lot of folks that are like they're a realtor, but when you tell them that you have to drive an hour, like I'm giving you a lead or I'm giving you, and they're like, oh, it's too far. If that's the case, guys, get out of real estate now because you just can't be picky. And if you're picky, it doesn't matter. I know you want to sell the $10 million home, but you know what? At times I don't because you don't, you have to make sure that you like your client too, because you could have a bad experience. Like this should be fun for you. If you're doing this to just make a buckload of money, you need to take your license and go work for a management firm.
Yeah,
I
we just had
can't,
someone
and like
ask. Oh yeah, go ahead.
And like I could help them. I mean, I just want for everyone to be successful. I'm not sitting here being like, I want you to be a millionaire and you could do it with this. I just want to be real. And I don't think that people are real enough.
And
So
we just had someone ask about if I just moved into a town and I don't know anyone in this area, what do I do? And Maria Smith online, she just said, I teach yoga. I had clients from the YMCA. So she, just like that, if you're into anything, whatever you're into, that new town has it also. They have yoga, they've got jujitsu, they've got, people working out at a gym. So get involved in something that's going to put you around people and just start talking and it will come up and you'll start building relationships. And that's really where it starts is you have to build relationships to get that trust.
now for
And
the
that's a
girl
great
that
way.
said she doesn't know anyone,
Yeah, she just moved into town, or he
so
did.
she, if
He just
she just moved into town, then maybe some of her content could be based on that. Like she could be vulnerable, be real, do a post and be like, hey, and don't make it seem like I want to sell your house. Like just be like, hey, I just moved here. I'm trying to look for some friends. I'm trying to look for community. And they just be vulnerable or do some videos about that. Like, hey, like make your story a story that people can relate to and they will support you if you're real. And again,
yes, yes.
search for people in your town. Be that creepy stalker. It's not even a stalker. Just say it like it is. I want to make friends. Like there's
That's
nothing wrong with being real.
right, right. I'll do a quick technology break for you
Sure.
all and show you a couple things that Ez has mentioned. Going to the back to the old school. Right now, you all, probably each one of you, when you walk out to your mailbox, if you walked out to your mailbox 10 years ago, there was always two or three real estate cards in your mailbox. Today, there's none. I go every week. I'm not getting anything from, and we have a lot of realtors in my town and no one's doing the old school snail mail. So in Wise Agent under marketing, you're going to see a lot of different marketing things you can use. But one of them that came to my mind as she's talking is postcards. So if you go to our postcard section, there's all kinds of postcards you can use for anything you can think of. Let me do the personal marketing here. So you can do football schedules, hockey schedules, community birthday announcements, you name it, and you basically just click on the one you want, and it'll open up and show you, and you can
I
set
didn't
these
even
up
know
and
that.
send them every week or every month. I mean, every month out to your sphere or your farm area that a title company can give you the names and addresses to, and you can drop them in Wise Agent and just set it. And this is automated and it's building your brand so that people are starting to learn your name in it, and it just goes on and on with all the different choices you have in here. Just for anything there is, whatever's coming up, you've got something that you can get in there on the old school way. The cards and people save those cards and will keep them and especially if they got schedules on them, they'll put them on their fridge and they'll be looking at your face and your name every day, and it definitely works. Um, the another thing that was as Ez was talking, she kind of one of the things that caught my mind was when she was mentioning the pets. Pets are a part of our family, and you all know a lot of you have dogs or cats, and you know how you feel about them. So as you're getting information from people, when you're on Wise Agent, there's a lot of information you can keep on each contact, and at the top of it we got a lot of questions on AI. So yes, we have an AI bot that'll help you convert leads once you start getting leads in. Statuses are because you've got to get your contacts organized. Where did you find them? What are they into? Are your yoga friends? Or are they your gym friends? Your church friends? So organize it so that you can message to them in different ways. And in Wise Agent, there's so many options that you can keep on your contacts. But over here on the left, if I click on family, it's going to slide out a little thing. And this is where I can track my clients' children's names, their friends, their relatives, and even their pet names. So if they have a dog and you remember that dog's name, if you're going to their listing and you've got two other agents and you're the one that remembers their dog name, it's gonna weigh heavily on helping you get that listing. So tracking and remembering the things that are important to people, like I said, that's how you build relationships. And so you have to have a system to do this in because otherwise, when you're meeting 50 different people each month or 100 people, you're not going to be remember which person has Lola and which person has what their dog's name is. So make sure you write everything down as you get those notes and in a place like a CRM where you can always go back and find everything.
But before you put that in, you need a document. So you need a document for them to fill out. So that's the client survey. And they may not be clients because some people may be like, I don't have my clients. Reach out to your neighbors, be like, hey, I just moved. I'd love to learn more about you. And that's it. And then you'll start your database. So, at the end of the day, when you have the pieces of paper, I don't have them right now but I have the paper ones, and you go in, or I could send them to one of the lovely folks at your office, and
Everybody,
they'll put in the
sure.
information for
And,
me.
did you make that client survey you keep talking about? Did you just make that on your own, or did you
Yeah.
find that online, or
No,
what? Okay.
well, at that, my assistant did. I'm not gonna say it was me, but yeah.
Ah,
But that was my second year.
but
So I did so
yeah.
well in my second year in real estate. I got an
What I
administrative
want,
assistant.
what that made me think of is that we can take that if Ez is going to share it, and we can create a landing page for you all on it. So in Wise Agent, there's this thing called landing pages,
What?
and so this takes it to another level. You can absolutely hand in that piece of paper or send it out on paper form, but now just so you can kind of get the idea, here's an open house with a sign-in form. So I can take this landing page. I'm just going to hit preview so you can see what it looks like. And so instead of having them fill out a piece of paper when they come into your open house, you can create a landing page and say, and even have a QR code so they can sign in from their own phone, just scan it and start filling it in. But basically, you just say, hey, before you walk through the house, the seller is requesting that we get your information, and hand them your iPad, or have a laptop there. And then instead of them filling it out in handwriting that you have to try to read, when you get home, you're tired tonight, and try to put all that stuff off of paper into your CRM. Now you can ask a lot more questions on a document where they can just fill in the bubbles and say, I saw your house. Yes, I'm looking. No, I'm not, whatever it is. So it just makes it a lot faster when you're using a landing page, and you can get a lot more important information in one setting because it doesn't take them long just to hit a couple bubbles versus asking a bunch of questions with a pen and paper. And then the cool thing about on this one, on an open house, is now as soon as they hit enter, their information is now into your database. And if you did it right, you've already pre-set up a drip campaign for everyone that's going to come through your open house today. So now, as soon as they sign in, when they're walking out, they're going to get their first text from you. This part of that drip campaign, automated. You didn't have to do it. And it's going to say, thanks for stopping by my open house. And then later tonight, they're going to get an email from you saying, hey, I just want to make sure you had my information. As you're looking, give me a shout. And then tomorrow they're going to get another one. So you set that drip campaign up. So after you're done with your open house, you don't have to go back and go home and start inputting all that stuff in. It's going to be there. And just know there's a lot of different things. Maybe you got a listing and you want to create a single property site for that. You can just open that up and fill in the blanks, change everything, and that will pull, give you a page to promote those your listings on right there. And then well, I think that was the main things I wanted to show you on what she had just mentioned. So there's always I'll try to put a little technology behind some of the things
Oh,
she's talking
totally.
about, because this is all so good. We appreciate it, and a lot of people are asking. Yes, we will be sending out the recordings because people are loving this and they're getting some value. So thank you, Ez.
Of
Now, Ez,
course.
when you were talking about these contacts from the past that keep on giving you repeat business, or letting you or sending you referrals, what are you doing? What do you do to stay in touch with them between the deals? Are you doing anything special? Just sending them emails or
I
texts or
I text
anything
message. So this is
physical?
the one thing I do is I always do, like, when I send out my cards or things, like, I offer to take them to lunch, for coffee, for different things. I did some drop bys for Valentine's Day. This is from the dollar store. Now this guy, I haven't dropped his off yet. This is like a little Scentsy. I don't know if it's called a Scentsy. I got them. I got these from a past client that was, so you also have to support your clients too. These were like $15 each. Again, only for my clients. So I don't expect you guys, well, it doesn't matter. I'm sure there's some people like on here that can do it, but these are for like my VIPs is what I call them. And you fill it up with candy. And then I have some, and they have a dog. So I did a little dog one. Now, because I obviously accountability, I didn't drive to their house. I have about 5 left in my backseat of my car. So now I'm gonna do a little like a scratch off for Lucky because it's St. Patrick's Day. So you always do like drive-bys and pop-bys. So that's what they're called. So and you even could do this to your neighbor, like to someone that you see. Like invest a little bit every time and give to someone. And it really goes a long way. And the CRM's great. It's great to send an automatic. Sorry, my little fur babies are like everywhere. They it's good to do a generated thing, but I so attack them in a lot of ways. So you're gonna have your CRM send a bunch of stuff because it's their birthday, but you need to call them. So every month you need to have a birthday and list of whose birthday, who's has a wedding, who has whatever. That is key. The reason why I have repeat clients is because I don't just send them a Facebook post. I call or text them, hey, I'm just thinking about you. I call them all the time. Like I check in every month. That's huge.
Wow. Okay. And so you're calling him every month, and Heather is asking, how do you decide who you're going to stop by and drop something off in person? Like, how do you decide who? You've got 1,000 people in the database.
Something like this is my past, like clients that are near me. And then for the ones that aren't in commute near me, because I service clients that are within an hour and 15 minutes. So I do set a restriction because but that's a long restriction. Like some realtors will be like, I only drive like 20 minutes. No, you're a realtor. So you should be driving more. The other ones, then I reach out to them, I text them. Like I personally, so it does take time because I have a lot of clients. Like I personally take time. You time block. I'm huge on like blocking time out.
Okay.
So there's
Okay.
also like something too. So you also should have a marketing calendar instead of the whole year. Do 3 months. Do what if there's a holiday, if there's a dog's day or something. Make sure that you reach out to those folks. So you have to get the survey in order then to know that, and you have to have reminders like how this will remind you. But let them get something in an email and then in a text message too.
I
Like
love it. I love
it's
it.
just so important. Because
And
when
what,
I
and
get a birthday, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I get a birthday thing, like a message from someone, I'm like, okay, that's like generic. Like you didn't even remember that it was my birthday. And then I'm texting them being like, hey, so then I'm like, I really did. But I'm
yeah,
hitting and attacking you in different ways.
right,
I don't
right.
know if attack's the right word, but you know what I
I love
mean.
it. And what we're seeing, you guys, is she's actually doing the work. There's a lot of talk and preparation to get everything going, but as is picking up her bags and her firebox, she's actually gets out there and uses these things that people talk about a lot and never get brave enough to get out there. And I wanted to show you a couple other things that she just mentioned as well that you can use your CRM for. So when you log on, right up here on the top right corner, this is where I'm going to find all the text messages that I've sent out. So from your wise agent, you can send one text message to 200 people at one time, and then as the replies start coming back in, you can either be replying from your phone if you're out and about, or maybe you have an assistant. They can be at the office on your wise agent, and as these people are writing back in, you can see all the texts that have gone out in the past, what we just sent, and now I can text them right from the CRM and be getting that conversation going. So you can use your keyboard. You don't have to be on your phone if you've sent out 1 to 200 people. And if you do send out a text to a big group, be ready because you're going to need to be replying right away. If I send you a text, I don't want to wait a whole day to start getting replies because or they don't want to wait because you're the one that started the conversation. And so they kind of do expect you to be right there. The other thing I wanted to point out was at the bottom of the page, there's going to be a section that shows all your birthdays, anniversaries, home sale anniversaries, and any other kind of dates. So it doesn't just have to be birthdays and anniversaries. And home sale is a great anniversary. You should be keeping track of when did you sell in that house so you can always get back. And then you've also got the any kind of other important dates that you come across. Go when they talk about it, mention if it's important to them, then you should be addressing it. And then while I'm here, I wanted to point something out that's a true game changer. If you're not using our transaction hot list, you need to be. So after you do all the things that Ez is talking about, you're going to end up getting a listing or a buyer. Now, once you have those, now it's critical that you go through the process and you take care of them the right way. And so in Wise Agent, every single buyer or every listing you have is going to have its own checklist. And when you click on that, it's going to keep your whole everything organized for that one person that you're working on. So I clicked on a buyer side. It's going to be very similar on the seller side, but doing all the other half of it. So here I'm able to track all the important dates throughout the transaction. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the home inspection, the close date, the actual close date, the date that we met them, all the way through. So for the rest of my career, I have a record of all the important dates for that one transaction, one person. And then as I start working with them, before I start, I'm going to need to do the buyer pre-search consult. So I need to even know what are they looking for, what do they want, and so we're going to walk you step by step through everything you need to do. And as you do each step, you're checking it off on the left and date stamping on the right. So for the rest of your career, you know what you did and when you did it for every single contact, whether they're the buyer or seller. Then you're going to get to the part where it says during the search, did you set up the MLS search automated? Did you advise them on the timelines? Discuss important earnest money? All the things you should be doing while you're searching to keep those conversations going. And then when you're going through the making the offer part, under the contract, everything else you're going to be doing. And now here's another critical part. As you're using these checklists, the number one thing National Association of Realtors says when they send out their surveys every year, that the biggest complaint is that as realtors, you're not communicating enough with your buyers and sellers. And so to combat that, and the reason you're not is because you do so many things for them that to you it's just part of your day and you're doing it, but you don't realize it matters to that one person. This is the first time they've ever sold a house, or the first time they're buying. They don't know all the stuff you're doing behind the scenes. So, and you probably don't have time to stop and email them every time you do something. So here's how you do it. You create a nice email one time or a text message one time, and you link it to these checklists. So now every time I schedule a pest inspection or a home inspection, I check that off. And now not only does it record it for me, but it also just sent a text message or an email, whatever I have it set up. It's called a trigger. It goes to my contact and says, "Hey, Ez, I just wanted to let you know I got the home inspection scheduled. The reason we need that is because blah, blah, blah," and it goes in. And so it's another touch and it goes all the way through. And then you kind of walk you through. And then after the closing, what do you do? And then these checklists are also going to track all the important contacts as you're going through. So 2 years from now, when they call you and say, "Hey, who was that appraiser?" You don't have to waste time digging through files. You click on it and you see it. And then you've got a spot where you can keep all the different documents that were part of that transaction. And at any time from any computer, you can just click on it, open them up, and see exactly what documents you were using. They're always with you the rest of your career, no matter where you're at. And then there's a spot for all the notes. So as I show them stuff, I'm adding notes, and that is a date and a timestamp on that as well. So I think that's a really key piece of doing business. And it's not just for your buyer and seller. You can use these transaction checklists for any process that you're going to do over and over again. Here's one for a listing prospecting checklist. So all the things that you're going to do before, how do you even get a listing? And there's another one right here that a Facebook group called Lab Coat Agents, Tristan Armad made. And this one's about refreshing the listing. What do I do? Now I've had the listing, it's been on for 6 months, and I need to do something. So it's just another step-by-step checklist, walking them through all the things that you can do to refresh those after you get it. So a lot of really, really good technology that you can use to kind of get some of the things that Ez is talking about done using that technology and really organized. And that's another key, you guys, to really level your business up. You have to run it in systems. You have to be consistent. The only way you're going to be consistent is if you have a system that does a lot of it for you and automates a lot of it. But you have to have systems. Just just like even a system on how do you make your bed every day. That's a system that you put in place. But in this one, now you have systems that you're tracking the dates and the times and everything you did. And so I would highly recommend you start using those checklists if you aren't using those yet. All
Do you have
right.
any questions? Oh, one more thing, guys.
Yeah, we are.
Dress like a realtor, dress like a professional. I need to say that, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It could be like you can make anything look fancy. Just look business casual. Business casual. You see, I mean, these people are going, especially if you want listings. If you want listings, these people are going to be paying you a lot of money to say, and it's with buyers too. Like this is your profession. How you dress and how you carry yourself, it even makes you feel better. You feel like, oh, I'm really a big business person. Trust me. It makes a difference. And again, I'm all about basically the like a budget. Again, you could go to Marshall's, you could go to Ross. Like I always say to everyone, because they'll be like, how much was that outfit? I'm like, I don't know. I think I would like to for like Forever 21. Like you make the outfit, so you don't have to buy like Louis Vuitton and like all that stuff. You know what I mean? Just dress the part, guys. Dress the part, please.
Hey, we are running out of time, and I feel like I could talk to Ez for 3 more hours and keep on getting more tips for you all. She's an amazing resource, and the cool thing about Ez is that she said anyone is welcome to reach out to her. She don't care what company you're with. She loves helping people, so we're gonna make sure that you all and texting is the best way to get a hold of her. So we'll put her information right in the comments here for you as well. Um, and next month, actually exactly a month from today, I am going to have Brandon Brandon Barnum on, and it's going to be another good one. He's a tech CEO, an author, a speaker, a coach, kind of doing it all. Yesterday, he was in Las Vegas at a big seminar and released his brand new book called Raving Referrals for Real Estate. So it's all about the referrals and how to get more referrals. That's the new book. So we'll be talking to him about that. And he also just launched his own another tech company that he's running called HOA.com. So we'll kind of get into that and see how that can help you all. Since a lot of the houses you're selling are in HOAs, and that's kind of the roundabout that. But we're out of time. That went really fast, and that's because you had so much
Brandon,
good
I have
advice.
one more thing.
Yes,
There
love it.
was someone that it came through. They asked about the program that I was talking about where it's better than skip training. It's called Deal Machine, guys. Dealmachine.com.
And
Awesome.
any of those things, you guys, whether you're getting your database from a title company, you're getting leads from places like Zillow, or you're buying something like this that's going to give you a farm, let our team help you get that into your database so that you can start putting it on systems and being consistent, staying in touch. If you spend the money and you get a big list and you don't do anything with it, you wasted money, and so the only way to get this thing to do it right is to systematize everything. And we have a system in Wise Agent for each piece of your business to help you get it organized and stay consistent as you take your business to the next level. All right. Hey, yeah, so Brandon Barnum, that will be on March 26th if I said that wrong, but we'll see you back then. You all, we are here to help. Ez is here to help, so take advantage of the support we're offering 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Click on the contact us button, and we're always there for you. Thank you all, and we'll see you next month. Thank you, Ez. That was a great one.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye bye.